This is INC Now.
And as I mentioned, Indiana's News Center and the Journal-Gazette have teamed up again as we take a deeper look at the proposed legislation that will overhaul Indiana's prison system. For the next 4 days, our special report, Correcting Corrections, will cover everything from statistics that may surprise you to the cost of an overhaul and who will pay for it. We first wanted to give you an idea of who is in Indiana prisons and why and what the average length of stay is. Joining me is Ron Shago with our partner in news, the Journal-Gazette. And Ron, in today's paper, you had a very interesting article called Packed Prisons Burden Budgets, and it highlights how Indiana's adult population has more than doubled in the last 2 decades and how rapid this growth is, and it's putting such a big strain on our budgets. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, we looked at, there are 28,000 prisoners as of the end of last year in adult prisons in Indiana. We got data from the Department of Corrections looking at a snapshot for 1 day. That would be December 20th of last year. And we sliced and diced it, and we had a story in today's paper that looked at female population versus male, race, and so forth. And
let's talk about that gender issue first. What's the breakdown there?
I shouldn't have been surprised, maybe, but I was. There are, out of 10 inmates, 9 would be male inmates, and women make up 1 of 10. Not, you know, I was kind of surprised by that, but I would say I did a little calculation before I came over today, and the female population is expanding rapidly.
Is it?
Yes, and I think in the last 20 years, male inmates grew by 100%, which is enough.
Yes.
But females grew by 271%.
Wow. Wow,
so.
Interesting. How about race? We have some of our graphics back here that you can sort of see. Break this down by race. Who's incarcerated?
Well, broken down by race, we look at blacks as 1/3 of the prison population. When we look at the general population, blacks only make up, adult blacks make up 8% of Indiana's adult population. So there's a great disparity between the black and white population in prisons.
What about other races? You see 6%. So really, it's a black and white situation.
It is. I think Hispanics and other ethnicities and races are mixed in that 6%. But generally, it's a black and white issue.
And what was the average age you found on this particular day?
In terms of age, it's about 36. There's an age range in adult prisons of 15 to 86. Now, 15-year-olds, there's a handful of teenagers in adult prisons, not many. I think I found 3, age range from 15 to 86, but that, you know, 36, the range would be usually 20-year-olds, you know, what you'd think, not a big surprise.
What about violent versus non-violent offenders? And this is really the important issue here, because they're talking about maybe not putting non-violent offenders so much in prison. What's the breakdown there?
Well, we did a look at the various crimes that people commit. We kind of pulled out violent criminals to show that, well, essentially it shows that about 1/4 of the the male population committed a violent crime, whereas women, it was like 11%, so quite a difference there as well.
What are we talking about? I see on the chart here we have a person offense. What does that constitute?
Yes, crime. I have a little cheat sheet here with me. Crimes against persons, and that would be murder, manslaughter, battery, and even carjacking is involved in that.
And property crimes are what?
Property crimes would be burglary, the non-person-to-person type crimes, residential entry, theft, auto theft, that sort of thing.
Now, I see here controlled substances, 24%.
Right.
And some of these offenders are the ones that may not get the jail term under the new regulations. Is that correct?
That's what, that's what, these are the drug offenses.
Right.
These are anywhere from cocaine distribution to possession to marijuana to meth. We see a lot of meth.
A lot of meth. And tell me how long the average length of a prison term is.
Well, we didn't quite look at the average length, but we looked at a breakdown of when people would be getting out.
Okay.
So somebody could be, in our data, somebody had a 30-year prison sentence, but in this it would show maybe they're out in 2 years. So we just broke it down, and it's pretty surprising to me that over half of the prison population would be getting out within 2 years. And in fact, 2 out of 10 would be getting out within a year. So it's a quick turnover.
And you can see here by the chart, you know, 2 years or less, 56%. So there's going to be a lot of people released back into the population in the next few years. Tell us a little bit about 11 to 20 years and 21 to 30 years. We're talking 13% of people, add 4 to that. They're locked up for a long time.
Yeah, there's some long timers, but again, it's the folks who have, you know, a few years left. I think that's the majority of the prison population. The older, you know, the longer terms, you know, there are a few out there. They're certainly out there, yeah, but.
And they're going to have to learn how to deal with those people when they come back out.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Ron Chago, for that interesting report. Sometimes it's hard to get your arms around just how many people are in prison, who they are, what they've done, how long they're going to be there. We appreciate your work on this.